Hello, my YouTube family. I hope you had a blessed day. Our aim is to teach you something about the food the FDA allows us to consume so you can make educated purchases when feeding your loved ones. Seek the advice of a medical or nutrition professional prior to making any changes to your diet. Out of the millions of potential subscribers, we just want to reach one so each one can teach one. Let's get familiar. The last 2 Fridays, we dug into 2 child favorite kinds of cereal. I revealed they were loaded with toxic food coloring that is not only bad for you, but some of them have been linked to different types of cancer. Today's episode of Food Label Friday is part 1 of my 2-part series called The Color of Poison. We will be spotlighting each of these poisonous, colorful toxins in detail. The sad part is, some parents ask for their children to be poisoned because they have not been educated on this issue themselves. Apparently, the Canadian government does not want its citizens poisoned. Americans are now eating 5 times more food dye than in 1955. Keep this in mind. The FDA is not certifying that these dyes are safe. They are certified to contain no more than the amount of lead, mercury, arsenic, benzodine, and other contaminants that the Food and Drug Administration considers acceptable. They are certified to contain a minimum % of actual color as specified in the Code of Federal Regulations. What is not generally known: as early as 1856, William Henry Perkin discovered the first synthetic organic dye called mauve, used to color foods, drugs, and cosmetics. By 1900, it was a common practice for foods, drugs, and cosmetics available in the U.S. to be artificially colored. Some contained lead, arsenic, and mercury, and some were being used to hide inferior or defective foods. In 1906, federal agencies stepped in and Congress passed the United States Food and Drugs Act, which prohibited the use of poisonous or harmful colors in confectionery and the coloring or staining of food to conceal damage or inferiority. The Federal Food, Drug, and Cosmetic Act of 1938 finally created strict rules governing the use of synthetic foods. Only 7 colors were approved for widespread use in food, and they are still on the list today. They are blue number 1, blue number 2, green number 3, red number 3, red number 40, yellow number 5, and yellow number 6. Now there are others that are not commonly used in widespread food production, but one of them still appears in something that we consume regularly, and I'll get into that a little bit later. One of the latest food coloring products on the market is edible food spray paint in aerosol cans that come in red, blue, gold, silver, and other colors. It's all food grade and safe so far, and approved by the FDA. Today, there are hundreds of strictly regulated food colorants that the FDA claims are safe for consumption, but are they really? Okay, so let's dig this hole a little deeper. Blue 1. Blue 1 is called Brilliant Blue and, as is typical for modern dyes, was originally derived from coal tar, although most manufacturers now make it from an oil base. It is commonly found in baked goods, candy, cereal, and beverages. It is currently banned in France and Finland. Health concerns include chromosomal damage. In January 2006, the Egyptian Society of Toxicology conducted tests on the effects of Blue 1 on the liver, kidney, and testes in rats. The results were not good at all. Blue 2. Blue 2 is also called indigo blue or indigotine. It's a synthetic version of indigo, a dye naturally produced from plants. Indigotine, on the other hand, is a petroleum product. In September 2007, a study reported by D. McCann and colleagues linked artificial colorings, including blue 2, to hyperactivity. It's commonly found in beverages, candy, and dog food. It's currently banned in Norway. Health concerns include brain tumors. The Center for Science in the Public Interest asserts that blue 2 is not safe for human consumption. Citrus red 2. Citrus red 2 is an artificial dye. This is not commonly used in widespread food production, but it has been permitted by the U.S. Food and Drug Administration since 1956 to color the skin of oranges, because apparently the orange skin of oranges is not orange enough. Citrus red 2 is listed by the International Agency for Research on Cancer as a group 2B carcinogen, a substance possibly carcinogenic to humans. Just think of how many times you may have touched this or used the orange peels for any reason. The FDA has never openly given this information to the public. We have to search for it. It's permitted when the fruit is intended to be eaten, but not permitted when the fruit is intended or used for processing. For example, to manufacture orange juice. It's used on some oranges in Florida, but it's banned in the states of California and Arizona. Health concerns include bladder tumors. Now, to give you an idea of how trustworthy the FDA is, there is another dye called Red 2 that was banned in 1976 after a significant increase in the incidence of malignant tumors in female rats when they were given a high dosage of the dye. It was concluded that since there could no longer be a presumption of safety, that use of the dye should be discontinued. As stated, the FDA banned Red 2 in 1976. Red 40 is what replaced it. So what happened to all of the people who ingested this before the FDA suddenly determined that it caused cancer? A better question would be, how long did they know about this before the public knew? Green 3. Green 3 is also known as Fast Green FCF, Food Green 3, FD&C Green number 3, Green 1724, Solid Green FCF, and CI 42053. Green 3 is poorly absorbed by the intestines. Its use as a food dye is prohibited in the European Union and some other countries. It can be used for tinned green peas and other vegetables, jellies, sauces, fish, desserts, and dry bakery mixes at levels up to 100 milligrams. In the United States, Green 3 is the least used of the 7 main FDA-approved dyes. Green 3 has been found to have caused significant increases in bladder and testes tumors in male rats, as well as mutagenic effects in both experimental animals and humans. It furthermore risks irritation of eyes, skin, digestive tract, and respiratory tract in its undiluted form. It's commonly found in beverages, candy, ice cream, and cosmetics. It's currently banned in European economic communities. Health concerns include bladder tumors. FYI, there is also a company called Green 3 Apparel specializing in organic products and accessories. All right, people, so this is a travesty. People are so caught up with fighting against each other over nonsense. The true fight will take place when all of you finally hold your politicians accountable for getting the poison out of our food source. Why don't they discuss this in D.C. instead of spending millions of our tax dollars to call each other names in political ads? It's distraction tactics at its finest. These manufacturers pad the pockets of the politicians, and in turn, they create chaos to keep you all distracted so they do not have to be held accountable for poisoning you. If you really want your vote to count, instead of worrying about who they tell you that you should be hating, why don't you think about the important things like the food that you're feeding to your family, the poisons in the food that you're feeding to your family? How come the banks are allowed to rob you blind? How come the insurance companies have so much power? How come when you go to work and you want to buy insurance from your job, it's priced so high that mostly the executives or people who have higher salaries can afford it? These are things that are actually important. They spend so much time worrying about impeaching Trump or what the Democrats are doing or what the Republicans are doing. None of that's really important. You have to feed your family every single day. And most of you have no idea that these substances are even in your food. Look, you need to share this video with as many people as you can. The only way that this is going to get out is if people actually see this information. Most people don't have time to do all this research on their own. I'm presenting it to you in an easy package. You just simply press play, and then you subscribe, and then you click the bell. I've already done all the work for you. All you have to do is share this with friends and family. Now let me ask you this. You do eat, right? Anyone who eats needs to see this video. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and share this valuable information with your loved ones. Click the notification bell so you'll be notified when we upload new videos. Find The Awakening Frequency on Twitter and Instagram, and also Facebook. Again, I'm not a doctor, nutritionist, nor do I have any experience in the medical or health fields. We are The Awakening Frequency. Out of the millions of potential subscribers, we just want to reach one so each one can teach one. Peace.